Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Alright, let's go take a little tour of the property and see what's growing. Early springtime. It's late March. The flowers are blooming, the sun is shining. Down here we've got 3 pots of peas, sweet peas, sugar snap peas. Over here there's some more sweet peas. 3 more pots. See if I can open up the lid in these cold frames. We got 2 cold frames that sit here. And this first one was planted last fall. Open this thing up. So what we got here in the front is radishes, spinach, for some nice shock for Lord Chaitanya, and then chard, red chard, and kohlrabi in the back. So these things were planted late fall, and they overwintered, and then now things are coming. So this is the hardest time of the year to get food, fresh food, coming into early spring. But as you can see, we've got some things growing. So let's go take a look at the garden. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram. Here's my friend the robin. Yeah, I see ya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Over here we got a little hoop house thing. This has got blueberries inside of it, although there's no net on it right now. When the blueberries come ripe, we put the net on it so the birds, like that robin we just saw, so they can't eat all the blueberries. Over here is another screen fence. This is about 12 feet long. So we'll have more peas on it. This is the second part of garden number 1. As you can see down here, we got these little brown spots. These are coffee grounds that we get. Dairy goes right on our bike every day. And there's a coffee stand a couple miles down the trail. So they freely give us these like 5-gallon buckets of coffee grounds every other day. And she also picks up some horse manure on the trail. As you can see here, all these things are nice donations for Krishna's garden. And here's the greenhouse. So I constructed this frame with steel mesh on the outside. And I'm going to put about 5 or 10 winter squash on either side of this, with the idea that it'll be a canopy of green leaves going over the top, and then winter squash that will hang down underneath the canopy. So it'll be a beautiful entrance to the greenhouse. And here we are in the greenhouse. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare. First thing we got here is Siberian kale. These plants are very hardy. They can take extreme cold weather, as they're called Siberian kale. So we have yellow chard here. We got yellow and red chard, some white chard, some more red chard, giant Indian mustard greens. These are really delicious in subjis and salads and sandwiches. Some more chard, another tub of chard, some more leafy greens for salads. And then there's more spinach. This spinach was planted also late last year. So this is more spinach here. There's 3 rows of this. This is just starting to come now. And back here we have some beets. So this is my bhajan kutir. When I get done chanting inside, I come outside and I chant here. As you can see, we got some nice pictures of Krishna, Prabhupada, Prasadam, the devotees. So the nice thing about this place is that nobody bothers me. It's very quiet, very peaceful. And way down there you can see there's a farmhouse. It's about 20 acres of pasture. And it's basically pasture all around us. So the grass gets cut by the dairy farmer across the road. He even cuts our grass for us, for free of course, and then we give him the grass and the cows get the grass. So it's a nice win-win situation. So let's take a look inside here. Let's see what temperature it is inside here this morning. So it shows about 80 degrees. Yeah, it's only about 50 outside. It's going to be 80. It's probably be about 90 to 100 degrees in here a little bit later. So I keep these doors open even at this time of the year because it gets too hot and these plants will bolt too quickly, which I don't want. So down here we've got some overwintered celery, some more chard, bok choy, endive, more Siberian kale, mizuna. Down there some more mustard greens and arugula. And over here is corn mache. This is a very prolific plant. It's very nice for salads. You just come in and snip off the top leaves and you can put them into salad for greens. And over here we've got, these are cauliflower plants. 3 of them. I had them in that first raised bed that we saw originally. I took them out when they got too big for the top, and I brought them into the greenhouse. So now probably about another month and we'll have cauliflower, and this is a really important thing to have in the early spring because there's really nothing growing that you can eat except for greens. And what you eat mostly this time of year, if you're trying to live a self-sufficient lifestyle, is stored potatoes from last year, squash, beans, and all kinds of other things that we can and dry. So, but to have fresh vegetables, it's difficult. So these cauliflowers, there's about, I don't know, 8 or 10 different varieties that you can plant, and they come ripe at different times. So most cauliflowers are like 60-80 days and you get a cauliflower, but these are 210 days. So these plants were sown from seed late last summer, early fall. They grew about 6 inches, and then I kept them in the cold frame, and then they grew a little bit in the cold frame over the winter, and then I brought them out here. So this whole greenhouse in the summer, it's filled with tomatoes and peppers and eggplant. So let's take a look outside now. We'll continue our little walk around here. Another apple tree. I don't know if you can see in the background, it's a beautiful flowering plum tree. So I'm getting really anxious to start plowing this up. Since the weather's nice and dry, I'll give you another nice view of the pasture out here. You got the mountains in the background. And way out there in the trees, the elk live, which I'm not too fond of seeing because they come in here and they can eat everything in your garden in one night and destroy everything. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. This arbor I built a few years ago has kiwi growing on it. So they grew really well last summer. They're about 3 years old, so maybe this summer we'll get some kiwi fruit. Govindas Garden. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. So this is garden number 1. It's 30 feet across. It goes down I think 70 feet or so. There's 3 gardens, basically around 2,000 square feet each. You can grow a lot of food in this amount of area. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. This is what keeps the ashram warm in all winter. Firewood. Wood is a nice heat. It's a nice heat source for the home. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. You see the rhubarb's coming up. We make rhubarb chutney, rhubarb drinks. What else? There's a number of things we make with rhubarb. Just rhubarb sauce. And this arbor is covered with clematis. This is going to be super fragrant. This is the best year we've had with this plant. There's 2 of them. There's one on each side. Covers the whole arbor. It's covered with these buds, and they're just starting now to open up. This is clematis. And we've got daffodils coming up, primroses, lots of things. This is a beautiful time of year for flowers. These daffodils are super fragrant. And here on the Arbucks, next to the house here is a kibia. These actually produce some little fruit. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Tulips over there by the cherry tree. That's a cherry tree. This is an arbor for grapes. We've got 2 grape plants, one on each side. And there's an apple tree right behind that. And on the far side is a peach tree. Sarvakama Duga Mahi. Krishna says, all your needs can be met by Mother Earth. Hare Krishna.